I'm having a lot of fun with playing a druid build in Season 1 by experimenting the skills such as Earthen Bulwark, Poison Creeper, Trample, and Landslide. The puzzle is that each skill has its cooldown and some cooldowns are really long, such as over 30 seconds. While we have seen builds that are constantly spamming all the skills claiming 0 cooldowns. How did they do that? I'll explain the enabler skills, spirit boons, gears, and aspects, as well as how to play to reveal how druid cooldown works based on my understanding. If something is missed or incorrect, please leave your comment below to help each other. It took me quite a while to realize how the cooldown works, and I think it would be useful to share what I learned in this video. If you want to see more content like this, please smash the like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to never miss a video. Let's start with the skills. The most critical skill is the key passive called Nature's Fury. If you read the description, it basically says between the Earth skill and the Storm skills. If you use one skill, it will trigger another skill for free with a certain chance. For example, if you use an Earth skill, it has a 30% chance to trigger a Storm skill for free, and vice versa. So this basically tells us, whenever we use a skill, it will trigger a free skill between the Earth and the Storm skills. And why this is important? We need to take a look at this aspect called Symbiotic. What it does is that whenever the Nature's Fury key passive triggers a free skill, your non-ultimate cooldowns of the opposite type are reduced by up to 8 seconds. So remember that Nature's Fury will basically trigger a free skill when you're alternating between Earth's skill and a Storm skill, and you will be using these two types of skills all the way when attacking the mobs. So basically you are going to trigger a free skill quite often, and whenever this trigger happens, your cooldown of non-ultimate opposite type of the skills will be reduced by 8 seconds. So this is huge. But what is the non-ultimate skill, and what is the Storm skill and the Earth skill? Let's take a look at the skills again. Take a look at the tooltip of the skills. For example, landslide is a core skill, Earth skill, and also nature magic skill. So landslide is a Earth skill. And then tornado is a core skill, Storm skill, and also nature magic skill. So tornado is the Storm skill. So what does Nature's Fury do is that whenever you use the skill, there's a 30% chance to trigger a Storm skill in the same category. So in our example, if you use the landslide to attack the mobs, this is an Earth skill. It has 30% of chance to trigger, for example, tornado, which is a Storm skill. By the way, you don't have to allocate any point in tornado to allow the skill to be triggered, which is pretty nice. Back to the symbiotic aspect, we just used the landslide, which is the Earth skill, which allows Nature's Fury to trigger Storm skill tornado, for example. And then because of the trigger, this aspect of symbiotic will be triggered as well. So this will allow all of our non-ultimate cooldowns of the opposite type reduced by 8 seconds. So we get a Storm skill triggered by Nature's Fury, so the opposite type will be Earth skill. So in this case, it basically means that all of the non-ultimate Earth skills cooldown will be reduced all by 8 seconds. The non-ultimate Earth skills basically means all of the Earth skills outside of this category, ultimate skills. Ultimate skills including petrify, cataclysm, etc. But the non-ultimate Earth skill basically will mean, for example, your landslide is a non-ultimate Earth skill. Your Earthen Bulwark is a non-ultimate Earth skill. And also your, for example, Trample. Let's put this example all together. So let's say first you use a landslide, which is an Earth skill. By using Nature's Fury key passive, it triggers a free Storm skill by 30% of chance. Whenever this free skill is triggered, this aspect of symbiotic will be triggered. That will reduce the cooldown of all of your non-ultimate Earth skill, reduced by up to 8 seconds. So this skill will be including landslide, Earthen Bulwark, and Trample, for example. Wait, you just said Trample? I think by definition, Trample is a Wrath skill. So here comes the second mechanism we need to understand. So for example, by using this aspect called Trample Earth, whenever you cast the Trample, it will cast the landslide automatically to do additional damage. And the second line there is more important. It says Trample is now also a nature, magic, and earth skill. So this aspect will transfer your Trample skill into an earth skill. So that's why when the non-ultimate skill cooldown get reduced by the symbiotic aspect, Trample is actually one of them. I think so far we just went over the most difficult to understand cooldown mechanism. Now let's look at some other cooldown mechanism which is easier to understand. So for example, in our spirit boons, we have this Packleader spirit boon. Very important to look at this description is that it is a lucky hit based. So this says lucky hit, critical strikes have up to 20% chance to raise the cooldown of your companion skills. So number one, any skill that can trigger this Packleader spirit boon, it is a lucky chance based and it is based on critical strike chance. So in our example, if you did a lucky hit and this lucky hit is a critical strike and it has a 20% chance to trigger a companion skill, so this will be point creeper in our case. And remember that if we use landslide, primal landslide, this will have a guaranteed critical strike. So this basically increases a lot of the chance to trigger Packleader, which will reset entire cooldown for our poison creeper. Another cooldown mechanism is the calm before the storm spirit boon. This is also lucky hit best. So whenever we use a nature magic skill is basically covers a lot of skill, for example storm strike, landslide, and also earthen bulwark. So whenever we use all of these skills, it will have up to 10 chance based on lucky hits to reduce the cooldown of our ultimate skills by 2 seconds. When we say ultimate skills, it basically means either petrify or either cataclysm or some other skills like grizzly reach that you are using. So this will basically have a cooldown mechanism for ultimate skills. There's a unique item called Crone Greatstaff people are very interested in using. Let's take a look at why this is the case. So if we read that description, first it will turn our claw skill into a storm skill. And also whenever we use claw, it will also cast the storm strike. If we use Crone Greatstaff and if we use claw, we will cast storm strike as well. So let's take a look at the lucky hit chance of claw. It's 61%, so this is very high. And then whenever you use claw, it will cast storm strike as well, which has 30% lucky hit chance. So this will greatly increase the lucky hit chance. And remember, lucky hit chance can trigger our Packleader and also calm before the storm, which will reduce our cooldown for companion skills and also ultimate skills. So this really helps a lot on the cooldown. And another advantage is that by using claw, so this wild claw skill will allow claw to have 15% chance to attack twice. What this happens is that you will attack many more times by just cast one time of the claw. So if you cast one time of the claw, it will also use storm strike, and 15% of the chance it will cast the claw twice and also cast the storm strike. So this will allow you to cast much frequently. So when you cast storm skill, it will trigger nature's fury and it will trigger the other side of the earth skill. So this will allow the symbiotic aspect to proc much faster and often, so which will dramatically reduce the cooldown of your skills. So I think this is why people want to use this Crone Greatstaff for increase the reduction of the cooldown, and also this is a great boost for quality of life for this build. Lastly, I just want to mention you can also get some cooldown and lucky hit chance on your gears as well. So you can get cooldown on your helmet, on your amulet, and if you use an offhand, it can get cooldown on that piece of gear as well. And for lucky hit chance, usually you will get it from the gloves and also from the rings. Here is a quick summary about all the cooldown mechanism we have gone over so far. Hope this video is useful for you to understand more about how cooldown works for Druid. See you in the next one.